Please note that the content of this episode has explicit language and is not suitable for underage listeners. Hi, I'm CJ, and I've done phone sex for 24 years. Let's get started. I want to thank you for listening to my podcast, Secrets from a Phone Sex Queen, everything you always wanted to know about phone sex and more. Please, if you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new podcast is dropped. I want to touch on something I brought up a while ago, and that is role plays. We are back with role plays because, boy, there's a lot of them. When a caller calls to do a role play, they really need to have an idea of what the role play is. Asking me what I want to do is just not the right way to approach it. I have said this before. I will never tell someone what type of role play I want, and that really is because, like I've said, it won't be what they want. 9 out of 10 times, it just won't. I'll make it super easy for me and hard for them because I will want them to take control, or at least be more dominant, because then that would require them to do work and less work for me. I would just be submissive and let them take over, and that's not what they really want. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. And the reason why I'm bringing this up again is because I think it was the last time or the time before that, I told you about a guy who has been writing me. This is something he said to me recently. Hey, it's your ex-husband. I got remarried and the last 18 years have been horrible. I miss talking dirty while we fuck, and I miss your natural female scent. I hate the wife I have now. You busy? He keeps writing me things like this. Hi, can I come over? Hi, I'm your ex-husband. So I figured he was all set and ready to go with the role play. Clearly by reading this, he wants to come over and have sex. And on another chat, he said he wanted my dirty panties on his face. So I kept telling him, yes, I'm available. Yes, I'm available. Finally, he called me. To my surprise, the role play just started when he called, which is normal. I'm outside your house. Can I come in? Sure. He comes in. I let him in, and crickets. Nothing. So I tell him, let's sit on the couch. We move over to the couch. And then he says he wants my panties. Great. Now I think, maybe now we'll get going. What ended up happening was he stopped talking. All he said was, give me your panties and I'll put them on my face. That is not a normal role play. A normal role play is a back and forth conversation where two people talk to each other in a role play. I got frustrated and have since looked up the definition of role play, and it says in which participants will act out sexual fantasies for mutual gratification. It goes on, and my point being, it is not one-sided. Needless to say, and I don't say this very often, I think I was a little disappointed because I was hoping for a really fun role play with this guy where he would want to call again because it really went well. Well, it didn't. I pride myself on being really good at role play, however it is the person wants and whatever they want me to be. I have to say, quite honestly, I was a little surprised at how badly this went, at least in my mind, because I had to do all the talking with no recognition or anything coming back to me. Whether he was enjoying it or not, I didn't even assume he was because he didn't even make a sound. And sometimes if nobody's talking, you can hear them breathing or grunting or whatever the case may be, even stroking themselves. And there was nothing. So at that point in my head, I just thought, please hang up the phone. I do that on occasion. If a phone call is not going well on my end, I pray to the gods that they will just hang up because it is really not pleasant. And for me, it is so painful. From me, my vantage point, it's like, how can you possibly be enjoying this? Clearly, I'm doing all the talking, which is exactly what they want, but it's really unpleasant. I then begin to think maybe they get stage fright and they don't know what to do. And I think that does happen now and again, that they talk a good talk when they chat, similar to texting, right? People can text whatever they want because they're not talking to you. They're hiding behind the screen. But once they get on the phone, they barely speak. They don't even know what to say. And I think that's the case here, that he was really comfortable chatting with me and saying, hey, I'm your ex-husband. I want to fuck you. And then when he gets on the phone, he got really quiet. So any of you out there who want to do role plays, not with me, with me, if you ever did a role play with me, that'd be fine. But with your partner or whatever, I highly suggest you participate, that the two of you participate, because having it be one-sided is really not fun for the person who has to do all of the work and you just lay there or sit there or whatever the case may be. It's really important that you both participate, and you will have a lot more fun doing that if you want to role play. I would start simply and work up to something more seductive, or whatever the case may be. A simple role play can be where you want to be seduced, right? And really, you tell your partner, as they say, red lights and green lights, what you want, what you don't want. So what's good and what's bad, what you want, like I said, what you don't want. Talk about licking my butt. Don't talk about licking my butt. The butt thing, that's... Set your boundaries of what you want and go from there. It sounds easier than it actually is, I think. So when you're together and you've had a discussion about a role play, I'm trying to think of it as a simple one. Maybe you want to seduce your neighbor, or you want your partner to be in a French maid outfit, or simply laying out by the pool or the pool boy, whatever it could be, cliche, not cliche, whatever it is. You need to commit to it. Don't feel stupid. It's having sex with a stranger or your sister-in-law or whomever. Even if you've never taken a shower with your partner and you want it to be that, it could be anything that you guys can think of that you haven't done together, you've done with one partner, but you haven't done with the other person. Spice it up. Treat the role play like a sexy conversation. One of the things I don't have to tell the callers, but I would tell someone in person is don't use the correct anatomical words. Don't say, I want to suck on your breasts. Say tits. Get a little naughty. Don't say vagina. Use another word. Don't say penis. Use another word. If you don't know what words your partner likes, ask. Here's a good example. I think I brought this up to you before or not. When a caller calls me, I listen to them. Even when it's not a role play, I have to listen to them and the words that they use. I like the word cock. That is my word of choice. That's my preference. But the caller keeps saying the word dick. Clearly, he's telling me what he wants it to be called. I'm not going to say the word I want to use if he's using a different word, because it won't work for him. These words are not interchangeable. If they were, they would use both. I know that seems strange to you, or it could seem strange to you, but as we all know, words matter. So don't use dick if someone likes cock, and don't use cock if someone likes dick. Now, for a woman, there's not a whole lot of words you can use other than vagina. You can use pussy. The C word is pretty special, and only a few women don't mind that word. So I would ask your playful partner what word they prefer, or words they might have another word. I don't know. But it's important to know what words turn the other person on. So when you do your role play, you can get the appropriate response. That's what you're looking for. Some people don't like cum. They like spurt. There's a vast array of words out there, and you really need to know which words will get the juices flowing. If a guy is on the phone with me and he only wants to use anatomical names, that's fine. I'm licking your breasts. That's boring to me and very, very vanilla. I would never tell him that, but that's where my mind goes. And so in my response to him, I don't say the word penis. I use another word, and then I see how he responds. Role playing is super fun if the participants participate. I've said that before. I highly recommend it. It's a great way to spice things up, but have a little conversation first. Talk about the words, talk about your absolute deal breakers, talk about things you haven't done that you might want to do, and that will go a long way to make your role play experience successful. You can also go to the adult toy store and buy toys, whether they're for her or him or both. Men always want to put something in a woman's butt. They just do. Again, it's not every man, but I'm just telling you, most, whether it's a tongue, a finger, their cock, or a toy. Men want to put something in a woman's butt. On the flip side, men do want the same thing. They are oftentimes hesitant to ask or to even bring it up. I suggest women to go either with the men and see what they want, or buy it for them on their own. Just be cognizant of the size. Start out small. Go from there, whether it's a toy or just your tongue or your finger. I suggest something because they want it and they don't know how to express the fact that they want it. Some people are very bold about it and some people are not. Experiment. Men also like vibrators to rub against themselves, so it isn't much different than what a woman wants or what a man will buy for a woman. Remember, this is all about having fun and stimulating each other. Have a plan and go for it. Don't be shy. If you're new with each other, then I can understand being shy. But if you've been together for a while, discuss what you want and make it exciting. Now, you may be asking what my favorite role plays are because I keep saying I'm not going to say or I want to be submissive, but that isn't really all. On the phone, some of them are being a naughty neighbor, being out by the pool and being looked at with binoculars, being a sister-in-law, being a stepmother. All of those are fun because the people I do it with are fun. Well, most of them are anyway. Some are a little, but most of the guys that I have role plays are fun. They know how to act them out. They're fantasy role plays where people have fantasies about other people they shouldn't. We'll leave it at that. And I'm okay with that to a point as long as it's age appropriate. And that it is because most people know what my limits are if they know me. And if they don't know me, they might ask. And some will hang up and others won't. So I'd love to hear from you if you do a role play and it works for you. And if it doesn't, if you have questions or comments or concerns, let me know. I'd be really excited to hear how it went because you should just have fun. Role playing is super fun. It's just an addition to spice up your sex life and just think outside the box. It's really, really fun. I want to thank you for listening to Secrets from a Phone Sex Queen, everything you always wanted to know about phone sex and more. Please reach out to me with your questions and comments at phonesexqueen1@gmail.com. New episodes drop every Monday, at least I try. Check me out on Facebook at CJ's Podcast and Instagram at Phone Queen 1. If you're listening on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new podcast is dropped. Until next time, stay sexy.